Hi, I'm Shilton Webb. I'm the creator of Glycon, and today I'm going to show you some of the cool new stuff. So Glycon is a motion capture platform for VR. We're trying to make it something more than just traditional mocap, something a little, really cool. So let me show you what it does. First off, you can move your hands around. See, you got your headset on and you got mocap, and then when you're done, you can record this, and then when you're done, you can export it, right? And it's really easy to use. You can also create these virtual sets. So today, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you a couple of ideas for virtual sets, basically. So here we have our virtual set description over here. It's really simple. You pop this thing open, and then you can basically draw in the space. And then, and if you want to, you can delete things like that. And then you can, when you're in live mode, you can interact with it. All right, so you go, okay, I am here at the space command thing, and I'm going to push these buttons, or pop back in here and say, okay, well, I'm gonna make a desk, and I'm going to type on the desk, right? So maybe in live mode, you go back in here and go, right? So, and then when you record it, as you can see, I'm touching this thing. When you export it, and you get it into your 3D program or a game or whatever, this object can be easily swapped out with a real object or a better, higher quality object. And then your animation, this thing, fits perfectly in with this. It's a really cool combination. You can't really do this with traditional mocap. And so I want to show you a couple of other interesting things that we're working on here. So every build that comes out, and this one is release number 12 officially, and we found a ton of bugs and I've been fixing them. That's why it's taken so long to get this version out. It is already out for all registered users. Every time we put a new version out there, the way I do this is I try to fix all the known bugs, and then I add a few things. And then the things I add, some of them are things that people have just asked for, and they're fully operational. And then occasionally, and I try to do this every build, I add something that's experimental just to let people play with it and see what they think. Okay, so in today's build, we've added walking. Ah, you might say, I can already walk. And you're correct, you absolutely can. But can you walk sitting down? Let's find out. Now, in order for this to work, you have to understand that this is your arena that you previously set up when you set up your 3D environment, right? So this is your 3D environment, your play area that you set up when you set up your VR rig, right? And so this is important to remember, because for seating and walking, you can't recenter the room exactly on you. And there's a reason for that, because it's trying to, well, I'll get to that in a second. But for everything else, one of the new things is if you look this direction dramatically, you can hit this button that is the, oh, you can't see the controller here. You hit the button that is the left grip, and it will recenter the room so that you're now facing whatever direction you basically are currently facing, right? But the avatar and the room will face that direction too. So it's real easy to recenter things and just basically, okay, oh, I'm over here now. Camera 1, camera 2 kind of thing, right? Just hit that grip button, that does that. Okay, so without further ado, let's talk about walking and seated. Now, if I do seated right here, and there's a reason that I've got my camera set up like this. If I do seated right here, click, I look slightly awkward. And no matter how much I click that button, that's not going to change. Because it's doing this, it's centering this based on the center of my play area. Okay, so while I can move around in this area, I have to remember exactly where I had specified my play area. Okay, so this is now the area that I'm interacting with, and as you can see from the webcam there, it's a little different than the area where I was sitting. And I don't know if that's like a big deal for people, but the reason I'm doing this is because for walking and seated, both, people have complained that they've accidentally knocked stuff off their, their table and stuff like that, trying to interact with it because they can't see it. Well, this way it centers it, does everything based on the locations that you specified when you set up your 3D environment. Okay, so that's the idea here. Now let's do some walking. hello, I'm walking. Now, walking is a little different in that it will let you recenter the rotation, okay? But if you'll notice, the center is still off, okay? Because that's the limitation here. Again, I don't want people smashing stuff on their tables. You already painstakingly set up your 3D environment, so we're going to work with that and respect that. So I have no idea if you can even see me on the camera, but that's the idea here. Walking allows you to basically, yeah, we're walking and recording this, or we could be, you know. So if I wanted to do a thing where I'm like walking and I'm talking to someone or whatever, this is what we're going to do. This is how it'll basically work. Now, this walk cycle, I'm not super psyched about it. I'm sure I could get in the groove here somehow. But what I will say is this. This is obviously the feature that we're talking about as a kind of a experimental thing. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you have any suggestions for how this should look. What we'll probably end up doing is, instead of just doing base pose and virtual pose, we'll probably have, like, you just click this button a few times, or maybe there's a different button you're gonna click, and it'll have all the different walk cycles and run cycles and crawl cycles and whatever. And this way, the idea is this allows you to animate just the upper part of your body, right? And so, where did my desk go? There we go. So that's the new walking feature, and let me know what you think. Thank you very much. Oh, and for more information, you can go to liberty3d.com/Glycon or facebook.com/GlyconVR. Thanks.